There was just a rally called Justice for Joey Borgan. Who is Joey Borgan, you ask? He's a yarmulke-wearing Jew who a year ago was savagely beaten in New York City by a Muslim mob.
Last night in Times Square, police say a Jewish man was the victim of an alleged hate crime. This video appears to show the moment 29-year-old Joseph Borgan was attacked.
All of a sudden, I'm surrounded by like a whole mob crowd of people. They proceeded to, obviously assault me, beat me, kick me, punch me, hit me with crutches.
One man is facing multiple charges, including assault as a hate crime. The NYPD says it is looking for as many as 6 others. Borgen says they yelled anti-Semitic slurs while he was being beaten.
You're a dirty Jew, we're going to kill you.
The assault took place as pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli protesters confronted each other. In the days following the start of the recent violence in the Middle East, the Anti-Defamation League found more than 17,000 tweets with variations of the phrase, "Hitler was right." In a survey, 63% of American Jews have experienced or witnessed anti-Semitism in the last 5 years, and more than half feel less safe. On Tuesday, restaurant goers in Los Angeles were pelted with glass bottles, attacked by people waving Palestinian flags and yelling slurs against Jews. A conflict thousands of miles away, triggering anti-Semitic violence on U.S. streets.
Now be sure and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. You know you like the show. You know you want to subscribe. So please, don't diss us. And scroll down and you'll see the little thing where you can sign up to get on our mailing list. And you want to do that because every now and then, for reasons that escape me, YouTube apparently has issues with our videos. So if you don't want to miss any videos, get on our mailing list. And you see that big round donate button? Hit that, throw a little something in the tip jar to keep the show rocking and rolling. LarryWithEpoch.com, E-P-O-C-H, LarryWithEpoch.com. Boy, do we have a great show for you today. But first, I know you guys are liking these giveaways, and this time it's going to be the best one yet. Are you ready? For this giveaway, I want to invite one of you to join me for dinner at one of my favorite restaurants. That's right, you heard me right. Fine dining with the great Eldersky. We can talk about anything you want, and I'll answer all your questions, well, mostly all your questions. It'll be a great time for sure. So hurry up and go to winlarry.com to sign up. I'll be announcing the winner live on February 22nd, so make sure to stay tuned. And here's more from the victim.
I mean, they were using their fists, they were kicking me, punching me, kicking me all over my body. I mean, I got bruises on my rib, my back, all over. I mean, my wrist is killing me. I was just guarding my head, my wrist sprained or something. I don't know. I got a slight concussion. I saw a video after. Some guys were using, wood poles, look at the end of the flag, some crutches, etc., things like that. But I couldn't, honestly, I was really just like cowering and trying to, make sure I, brace for it and survive, to be honest. Yeah, yesterday was just, like the hate in these people's eyes, I don't say these people, the hate in the people who attacked me in their eyes was just amazing to me. And I mean, to, pepper spray and mace someone on the ground for like a minute or two while after the fact is just, who even comes up with like something like that? It's just so inhumane. And I mean, my message would just be to, just everyone get along. I mean, we all want peace, we all want, the same thing. And that, what happened yesterday, is just not the answer to anyone's problems, regardless of what color of skin you are, what race you are, what ethnicity, what religion, nothing. That's just wrong on so many levels, regardless of who you are.
And my next guest made this video and urged attendance at the rally called Justice for Joey Borgan.
Joey Borgan was walking the streets of Manhattan, wearing a yarmulke, identifiably Jewish, and was attacked by a group of Jew haters who beat the daylights out of him. Joey ended up in the hospital with a concussion, other injuries, and he will always live with that attack perpetrated by these haters who called him a dirty Jew, you dirty Jew. We are demanding justice for Joey Borgan. We have a DA in Manhattan, Bragg, who is much more interested in those who commit the crime than the innocent victims. We need to be there for Joey this Thursday at 8:30 at 100 Center Street to demand justice for Joey. It could have been any of us. We need to do the right thing and to make sure that the perpetrators of this hate attack, that they pay a price, that there are consequences for hate crimes. Anti-Semitism, the numbers are exploding. The DA of Manhattan doesn't give a darn. He doesn't care. He's not interested. He just cares about the perpetrators. We need to act, and you need to be there. So please join me this Thursday at 8:30. It is important. Pretend that Joey Borgan is your brother, your son, your father. And he was the victim of this horrible attack where the perpetrators actually said we would do it again after they were arrested. We would do it again. Be there this Thursday at 8:30 at 100 Center Street in Manhattan to demand justice for Joey Borgan.
Please welcome back to the show former New York Democrat lawmaker Dove Heiken. Dove, how did the rally go?
I mean, the rally went fine, but we're in a very tough situation. You know, the reality, Larry, is that, hate crimes against Jews are not treated the same way as hate crimes against other people. I mean, I can only say this. I mean, just imagine if a couple of guys with yarmulkes, a couple of people identifiably Jewish, were to attack people in the Black community or the Latino community and use all kinds of slurs. Could you imagine the reaction, the discussions on CNN and MSNBC? I mean, just 2 attacks, 3 attacks.
Right.
And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of attacks upon the Jewish people happening. And they're happening, by the way, here in New York. I mean, it's a nationwide problem coming both from the right and the left. But here in New York, over 90% of the attacks are happening to people identifiably Jewish, wearing a yarmulke, wearing a Star of David, or anything else that identifies you as being part of the Jewish people. And this is the reality. It's just not that important. You know, Jews are what do you call it? White privilege. We're powerful. We're in charge. We run the country, the banks, the newspapers, and everything else in the world. I mean, Joey Borgan, the hoodlums, the Jew haters who attacked him, they didn't know Joey Borgan.
Speaking of these hoodlums, half a dozen of them, were they arrested? Were they charged? What's the status?
Well, when you look at the video, there were as many as 8 people who were attacking him. 4 were actually arrested and charged with a variety of crimes, including and a number of felonies, including hate crime felonies, which are supposed to be, real serious things. That's why the legislature, it's one thing when you attack someone physically. It's another thing when you attack them physically and call them an effing Jew or dirty Jew or anything like that. We were tough. We made the laws to recognize that you got to be tougher on people like that. But it's a joke. It's a farce. Not only in New York. I mean, Bragg and others supported by Soros. DAs that, as I said in the video, they show more rachmanis. That's a Hebrew word that means pity. Mm-hmm. They show more pity for the perpetrator. I mean, it's the perpetrator that they care about. They don't want to make things too difficult. It's insanity. And the innocent New Yorker or the innocent American in many cities where you have these, people who are supposed to be law enforcers, what they are doing is desecrating the law.
You mentioned the hypothetical. What would happen if it happened to other people? We don't even need to speculate. We know what would happen. Remember Crown Heights? There was a lie that a Jew intentionally ran over and killed a black person in his car. And that led to days and days of riots, protests that one Jewish leader called the most serious pogrom in the history of America, where a bunch of black people were attacking Jews.
Right.
So if a group of black people were attacked like that, or one person by a bunch of white people or Jews, are you kidding me? They'd be talking about it in Bangladesh.
Exactly. I mean, you would have massive attention, massive discussions, trying to figure out, why did this happen? And we got to be tough, and we got to make sure to set an example so that other people don't commit the same acts. But here in New York, each and every month, the attacks upon Jews are more numerous, Larry, than the attacks upon all other groups. And I'm talking about LGBT, I'm talking about Black, Latino, Asian, and on and on.
Right.
They got so many freaking categories, I can't keep track of it. But in the month of November, as an example, 3 times as many attacks upon Jews than all the other groups put together. And what's the answer? What's the game plan? You know, in the White House, oh, they talk the talk, right? Everybody has such courage, Larry. They're all against anti-Semitism, but they're full of you-know-what.
I'll give you another example. I'm here in LA, as you know. I think it was 2006, October, Halloween. 3 white girls go to one of these Halloween mansions, haunted houses. They were attacked by a mob of between 20 and 30 blacks. They were hit in the face. One of them was hit with a skateboard, almost lost her eye. The LA Times, whose headquarters were 20 minutes away from where this happened, did not report about it for a whole week. For a whole week, Dove.
Unbelievable.
And NPR didn't report about it for a whole month. And the issue was whether black people, because they're black, could be guilty of a hate crime, as opposed to what really happened to them.
Precisely.
Can you imagine if it were the other way around? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Larry, all the attacks in New York, again, 90% Americans Against Anti-Semitism did a study over a year looking at all the hate crimes. Larry, 90% of them were committed by minority groups, 70% by people from the black community. That is a fact. But no one talks about that. You will never hear, you and I talk about it. A couple of different mediums will permit you to have that discussion. But the general media, absolutely forbidden. No way. You don't talk about that. So, Larry, how do you solve a problem?
I've written for years, Dov, a typical year between 500,000 and 600,000 black, white, black, non-violent, non-homicide violent crimes. By that, I'm talking about attempted murder, manslaughter, rape, assault with an aggravated, with a weapon. 85 to 90% of the time is a black perp and a white victim. Only 10% the other way around. That is an inconvenient fact that nobody wants to force because it undermines the narrative of systemic racism against black people.
Yeah, look, we need to have that discussion, Larry. Look, I would love to sit with people from every single community and let's talk about what's going on out there. Because, when we don't deal with the crimes, these hate crimes, one of the saddest things, Larry, that I hear from so many people more and more, I never heard this 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. People in the Jewish community ask me, how much time do we have left in America? It hurts me terribly to hear people talk that way. Like, do we have a future? The lady who called me, this elderly stranger who called me on my phone and said to me, when will we know? How will we know when it's time to leave? How sad is that, Larry, that people feel this way? They see all these attacks going on constantly, nonstop, literally all over the country, and in particular here in New York. When de Blasio was the mayor of New York, you remember, Larry, all he talked about was white supremacists. Right. And our report showed that only 2% of the people committing crimes against Jews, hate crimes, were white. But the mayor and others, all they wanted to talk about was white supremacists. So it's very sad, Larry. And I got to tell you, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, it's very frustrating. We keep on talking about this. And like, where are we going on this? This country is so divided in so many different ways. All we're asking for, Larry, is justice. Joey Borgen said after he was attacked that he thought he was going to die. That's what he thought.
Well, Dove, the answer is to tell the truth.
Yeah,
and as you pointed out, demand
exactly.
justice. AmericansAgainstAntisemitism.com is the website. Dove, Heiken Dove. Thank you very much for coming on. God bless.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Larry.
You got it. I'm Larry Elder. This has been the Larry Elder Show for Epic Times. We've got a country to save. See you next time.